and welcome to another episode of Jenny's Chateau Farm. This week, the sun has been shining gloriously. We've been enjoying the tulips in bloom and getting on with some DIY in the house. Our good friend and neighbour Patrick came over to build an extra shelf in the old kitchen from recycled oak, from which we can hang the cooker hood. First he came with an upright post to measure up. And then he came back with the shelf and its braces, all fully made. And they fitted perfectly. I think you'll agree he has done an excellent job. Along with Luna, his assistant, who is always on hand to supervise. TJ has also been here, doing a job that I've been longing to get on with for a long time, namely painting the hallway, ceiling and walls. Considering that the height of the ceiling is well over 3 meters and the hall is about 14 meters long, this was no small job. Now that the art exhibition is packed up, the first job was to strip the old wallpaper from the walls. Which was incredibly satisfying. The hand-painted wall decoration revealed underneath is from the 1930s, and I think it was rather charming. However, the plasterwork was in a pretty bad state in some places and had been previously repaired in others. So it was all going to have to be sanded and patched before painting could begin, a job which TJ did excellently. Yeah, so it'll either be this plaster where it's left or down to the stone, and we'll just paint that, but it looks great. I mean, that's really doing a good job. Having stripped the wallpaper, we could also see that this door into the service kitchen had once been a much larger door, matching the one to the dining room opposite. I'm not sure why it was made smaller, but perhaps restoring it to a larger door one day is something that we should consider. The glass is not pretty good just here, and really it takes the loose paint off very
It does,
well.
but then there's anything that's not loose, it doesn't want to take off.
Yeah. This is just too loose, it's got to come off. When it came to painting, we decided to continue with the same little green paint colours we have used in the attic hallway, namely linen wash for the ceiling, yellow-pink for the walls, both in absolute matte finish, and mid-lead in a satin wood finish for the wooden trim. We are, however, leaving the original faux bois effect painted onto the large doors going into the salon and dining room, and I think the yellow-pink colour goes wonderfully with them. In fact, this was one reason why we chose it. The other is that since this hall faces east and west, with large glass doors at either end, it gets such lovely sunlight falling through it, and the sunny yellow just accentuates that. Speaking of little green paint, I've been once again so very impressed with the quality and finish of it, and with how far it stretches. The satin wood, for instance, that we're using on the skirting boards and doors throughout the house goes on incredibly easily, dries quickly, and can be repainted even much sooner than the 3 hours recommended on the tin. For instance, while I was painting about 100 metres of skirting boards for the attic, I could paint about a dozen or so in one go, and by the time I got to the end of the first coat, in under an hour, I could go straight back to the start and do the second coat, which made the whole process very efficient. In 2 coats, it was all it took to get a perfect finish. In fact, the only reason for the second coat was just to pick up the odd spot that I'd missed the first time around. Another place where I was again very impressed by little green paints was on the ceiling in one of the bedrooms. When we first bought the house, there were some significant leaks in the roof, and before it was replaced, there was some water damage that left dark brown stains on this ceiling. But look at what a difference just one coat of little green all-surface primer made to it. Thanks to this primer, after another coat or 2, we won't have to replaster the whole ceiling, which would be rather tricky as we'd need to fit the plasterboards between all the beams, which are rather lovely. water dried, I think you'll agree that the chalky matte finish of the yellow paint diffuses the light beautifully and looks great against the satinwood finish of the grey trim. Thank you so much for watching and leaving comments. We do our best to reply to every single one of you. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe and click on the notifications bell. It really does help us to keep making these videos.